be a boss. Let's talk business. Let's talk fashion. Let's talk health, fitness, community, lifestyle, and fun. With Boss Up Houston, Saturday at 10 a.m. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up. Houston, it's your girl, Miss Bacon Baby, and I have the bosses in the building with me today. You know, this is Boss Up Houston. We do this every second, third, and fourth Saturday at 10 a.m. I have the beautiful, wonderful Miss Sabrina Golden in the building, honey.
Me? Hey guys. How we doing?
Yes, and I have Miss Monique Lusk in the building.
Over to the left. She was feeling so good.
Yes, the bosses are in the building. Y'all, this is our last episode of the season. We are going to have some special things coming to you throughout 2019, but this is our last episode with all of the bosses. So y'all better get a good look. Let it last for you. Play the reruns. So I'm going to start off with my business 101. And so business 101 today is, if you are too busy going against the grain, you can never reap the benefit of supporting or being a part of the bigger picture. We are blinded by corruption and jealousy prematurely before it's our time to shine. So what we have to do is make sure that when we say we're going to do something, to do it. If you're supporting somebody, do it. Because in the long run, what you sow, you reap. You know what I'm saying? You reap what you sow.
You sow into people.
Yeah.
Sow into people as well as sowing into your tithes and the offerings and the building fund and all of that.
Come on. Bring it to the church.
Doorknob fund.
And those that you support, make sure the people that support you.
Right. And it's a genuine relationship, regardless if it's business or personal or, platonic or a love relationship. Regardless, you want to make sure everything is reciprocated.
Absolutely.
So know your people, because everybody is not going to like you and everybody's not going to support you. You're not here to be disrespectful, but you're not here to be disrespected.
Right. And I just feel like people just want everything to happen instantly. The grind is real, okay?
Instant gratification, that's what they're doing.
Yes, what am I gratifying you for? Why?
Yeah, why?
Why?
Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately?
Give it to me. Like if it's something that that needs to be addressed, or it's something that I need props on.
Right.
Give me my props. That I give people props
That's
all day.
Honor
That's
is
that
due.
like hate.
Yeah, but don't like hate me. I'm gonna need you to move around.
That's that like hate.
Just be mindful, because some people will support you, and then when it comes down to you,
Yeah.
won't do it.
Yeah.
But they be like, oh, but I love Monique. I went from everybody loves Monique to everybody hate Chris. Okay? Everybody
Listen.
hates Chris.
Cause we know that's real. Everybody does hate Chris.
Everybody hates Chris. So what is that about?
I
Be
don't know.
consistent.
Yeah.
Either do it all or do nothing.
Right. But I guess the main thing that I like to point out, though, is that if you stick with it, if you really support, there are benefits that come with that. And you can't be a shady friend. You can't be a shady business partner. You can't be shady. Everything needs to be, straightforward.
So being a shady friend, well, Monique's dictionary defines that as a dry hate. You dry like me.
To my out girl.
You dry like me. I get a dry hello. I get a dry hey sis. Don't ever sis me. I'm never your sis. Okay? To me, that's dry hating.
Right.
Oh, sis, you should. No. Go and be on your anytime somebody says something and they put little in front of it. Oh, go do your little event, and I'll dry hating. That's a shady friend.
I just saw a meme about that.
shady friend.
Your
Your
little.
little.
We have a joke going around about girl, get your little $40. Your little, yeah.
Like when we get mad at our dudes, we be like, get in your little car.
Yeah, with your little brain.
Okay, and get out of my face. Everything little when you dry hair.
It's just little. Oh, y'all got a little party going on.
Mm-hmm. That's our aggression.
Your little event?
Yeah,
Your
that little
little
event.
event.
I try to make it to your little event.
I see you got your little look going on today.
Look, your little glitter, honey.
Mhm.
Okay. Listen.
Listen.
Don't do it. Don't do it with the bosses, honey, because we recognize.
Okay, we know
Okay.
them isms, man.
Okay.
Them nuances and carrying on.
Yes, but that is, business 101. Just be genuine in all your relationships. So today we're talking about peaks and pits of 2019. We're going to get into it. We have some awesome, phenomenal guests that are coming on today. Miss Niecy Hamilton, Miss Roxy McLeod, and Mr. Edward Davis. Oh, y'all going to get, baby, the impact, honey, is coming to Boss Up Houston. Yes. This is Boss Up Houston. Y'all know how we do. We're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back. So, what's up, Houston? It's your girl, Miss Bacon Baby, and y'all know how we do this. It's Boss Up Houston. We do this every second, third, and fourth Saturday. The bosses are in the building. Miss Monique Lust, Miss Sabrina Golden, and y'all, we gonna give y'all the business. Right. All right. So, we're talking about peaks and pits. So, I do want to know, what was your peak of 2019 and what was your pit, Sabrina?
Okay, so my peak was actually being on the show.
Oh,
yes.
Yes,
getting
Bill.
more
We
exposure.
treat you like an equal.
Yes, honey. You know some of these people.
I love
Yep.
that.
The look.
Yeah.
Pits. I slowed down a little bit this year on the acting, but I did do two plays,
Mhm.
a movie, but I kind of took a sabbatical.
All
But,
You needed it.
next year, it's coming.
right.
It is coming. I got to
2020
play.
is the year of.
I love this play, guys. I love it. I'll tell you a little more after the show.
Yes, I love that, Sabrina. Good luck on all your endeavors. You know I love you, girl, for real. And we support you. So whatever you're
I
doing.
love you for playing.
No, you love her for real.
Okay.
This girl. Look, Monique, what was your peak and pit of 2019?
Oh Lord, a pit. Let's start with a pit.
Oh Lord.
That being a
Oh.
peach.
Get to the nitty gritty
We're gonna
first.
get to the pit. The pit was associating myself with a bunch of people who didn't mean me no good. They used my talents for evil and not good. So the peak is that I'm in a very healthy, loving relationship.
Oh.
Okay.
And I got my fake ring going. You feel me? Peak is we're about to buy a house, so some peaks going on.
That's what's up. I love that peak. Mm.
So
Is that a reminder? That's what you
Yeah, because I have to do it to myself.
do? Yeah, you have to remind yourself that it's real. It's real.
Yeah. It's just, getting this finger just ready.
Prepping it up.
Just getting it ready.
He went to Jared, okay?
Ooh la la!
Y'all know we crazy on here. But anyway, we
I got another peak.
Oh, come on. Give it to us. Give us the peak.
My other peak, which is really the biggest peak, is that I got to spend yet another beautiful year with my two beautiful sisters over here. Even I said sisters. I said don't do the sis because that's dry hate. But when you call somebody a sister, that's your family.
For real.
And I love these two ladies. I'm so proud of these two young ladies over here. And they just take me in all my old and all my glory, baby.
We love you, Mo.
Yes, we do.
Listen,
Oh.
if you have peaks and pits, it's good to write those down. Write down your peaks, write down your pits, because sometimes, or most of the time, the good outweighs the bad. And you have a lot to be thankful for. Even though some things happen in your life and things, go the way they go, you just thank God for the good times. For the good times.
And yours? What is yours, Shamir?
My peak, let's see.
Times,
Goodness,
baby.
I got some peaks.
Get that on
Lives its highs and lows all throughout the
Yeah,
year.
my peak is starting the Boss Up Houston, actually full out starting the network and actually getting everything started and going, and we're rocking and rolling. We started in September. We already have over 10 shows. We have more shows coming.
Bosses.
So yes, a real boss move.
Watch those shows.
Real
Watch
boss.
them. You seen the alert when it come on. Stop playing.
And we've had some good reviews and good viewership, so I'm excited. I'm excited what's coming in 2020. My pit was the diagnosis of my mom when she got cancer, but she overcame that as well. So God, this has been a good year for me. 39 and looking fine, honey.
Almost
Yeah.
39.
Yeah.
Just had a birthday.
Yeah.
And looking fine.
Sagittarius in the building. What's up, Sags? But that's my peak and pit. So we have a wonderful guest, Miss Roxy McLeod. We're gonna bring on to the show today, and she is one of my best friends since 4 and 5 years old. So when I say a real best friend, that's she's my real friend. Y'all see Monique leaning in. We've been friends over the years, and for those people that say you don't have to talk to your real friends every day. You don't have to talk to them, constantly on occasion. If the love and the genuine is there, then it's there. You know what I'm saying? So this is one of my good friends, and she explained to me that she was doing some great things, so I definitely want to highlight and spotlight what she's doing. So we're going to bring Roxy McLeod on, baby. Sit at the boss's table with us. Yes. Come on in.
So happy to be
Hey,
here.
honey.
Welcome
How you
to
doing?
Hello, ladies.
Don't
Thank
get
y'all.
too close to my friend.
Here you go, Monique. Look, now I told you I was here first.
Yeah, but that passes on.
Okay. All right. But it also stays. It's okay.
Listen, they've been doing this since we got here. But,
I don't know what part she don't understand.
y'all know Monique is my bestie. So, but Roxy is one of my good friends, and we've been knowing each other since 5 years old, right?
We were 5.
Skating in the street.
Jacks.
Yes, Jacks. Oh, that used to be my favorite game.
Sitting on the floor, watching movies, watching Madeira cook.
Yes, my
Back in the
granny. Yes. So Roxy, do you have you used any of those recipes? Because you used to sit at the table more than me.
No, but I think that, that's what God had for me, taking care of families, taking care of children. So I was always interested in that. Always trying to figure out, what are you doing and how are you doing that? Because that was my passion. But I didn't know back then. It took me
Right.
a long time
Right.
to figure it out.
Figure out what your purpose and your passion was. But I know that at that time you were more interested in that because I was like, girl, I want to go outside and play.
And I was in the house doing laundry.
And she was the laundry girl. Wait, she would come to my granny's house and sit at the counter because my granny had a bar, but because my granny cooked every day. She was a real housewife, and she had all these recipes, and Roxy was right there.
Wow.
right there.
I wanted to know how to make the smoked and smothered and everything she was doing.
Right, right. So, what is your new venture, your business that you have? I know we spoke a lot about it, and I think it's very interesting. So, I want her to explain it, and I want it to be explained right.
Okay. What I've gotten into is called a nanny share. It's not just, what rich people do. It's what a middle class people can do as well to provide excellent development skills for their children in a home environment. Not every child can develop well in a in a regular daycare.
Right.
Not every child does good at a home daycare, but some children can really thrive in their own home. And it helps the families to grow. It's not just about loving and providing for the child, but it's about loving and providing the whole family.
Oh,
really good.
I like that. I
Right.
love that.
And so it brings it to a level where middle class, people like myself and a lot of people that I know can actually afford that luxury.
Okay, okay.
So we do a nanny share,
Mm-hmm.
and the nanny share is where 2 or more families come together, and they share one nanny, and they share the responsibility of paying for that nanny.
Okay.
There's a lot of things involved in it. The cost. I work from one of the parents' homes, so I don't work from my home. I work from their home.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of tinkered around with going from house to house to house, but we find that it just brings more stability with the child
One
being
house.
in one home. I'm what's called a household employee, so we use a tax form 1040.
Okay.
I still pay all those little fees that you
Mhm.
have to pay, Medicare and so forth. But it's, I really am inspired by how it came about. I got fired, and I was kind of like, okay, what do I do now?
Right.
What do I do now? And one of my parents was like, hey, I don't want anybody else watching my children but you. And I was like, okay, well, what are we going to do about it? She's like, I can't pay you as my one nanny. She's like, but I heard about this thing called a nanny share, and let's do it. And I was like, well, I don't have nothing else going right now. Let's do it.
So
So,
how did you get fired?
well,
What happened?
I was going through some problems in my marriage, and I saw it coming to an end. And I was starting to think about how in the world am I going to be able to provide for my family, working at a child care, making almost minimum wage.
Mhm.
I was like, I have 4 children. How am I going to be able to do this solely? So I started talking to my director, and I told her, I was like, look, I don't know what to do. Should I become a director? Should I do this? Should I take some classes? And I mentioned to her that one of my parents had asked me to be their nanny, and she started hating.
Dry hate.
Oh,
Yep.
didn't we just
She-
talk about that?
Yep. She told the owners that the parents were talking to me about being their nanny, and they said it was a breach of their contract, of the contract that we have.
Oh.
But
And I was like,
they love you. They
I
wanted
was
you.
teacher of the year.
They had made teacher of the year, honey.
So this is what's
Crazy.
messed
This
up
corporate
about the
America.
situation
Yeah.
is that
Nobody wants you to come up on the
Right.
people just want to get so in the
That's
crib, in
crazy.
the barrel,
Like, do
mentally.
you?
And I
just
just,
come back and bless me.
Right.
yeah, I just feel bad that happened. And I wasn't trying to be nosy, but I
Oh,
was.
yeah.
But I wanted to know. Because people get fired for the stupidest things.
Dumbest stuff, yeah.
People get fired for the stupidest things just because somebody's feeling something. Hey, I haven't gotten jobs. If I walked in like this, honey, the person who was hiring me wasn't like this 2 weeks.
Right.
I haven't gotten jobs
That's
that
true.
I was overqualified for.
Right.
Right. So this is a good thing that you started this. So nanny sharing.
Yeah.
When I hear nanny, I think about the show The Nanny
Mm-hmm.
with Fran Drescher. And I think about Nanny 911 with that crazy lady who got them people together. So you get people together. What are we doing?
I am. So now that I've been doing this for about a year, I feel like I've grown to a place where I can help other women or other men, whoever, same aspiration, that same passion to help these children develop and grow. And these families, be able to afford this type of luxury.
Right, right.
I think it's my duty to turn around and lift somebody else up.
Mm.
So that's what we're doing this year. In 2020, we're going to be working on a YouTube channel. You know, where we can do like tips and tricks. You know, actually showing what the curriculum is that I teach the children. You know, you focus on whatever it is that your parents want, but my parents are big into manners and prayers, and they're big into, you know, just development itself. I have one child that has like some speech delays, potty training, whatever the issue is, you have that one-on-one connection with
And that's
those
what I
Right,
like about this
right.
nanny sharing is that you get that one-on-one attention kind
Right.
of like you're in the
But
home
how
with your
though
parents.
when you
type
have
thing.
3 families at one time?
So I have known these children since they were 6 weeks old. Some before they were even 6 weeks old. You get in there with them and you work your jelly. You know, it's like a family. You know, just like when you're at home and you have 4 children, it's one-on-one. You have to deal with each child at the time.
And what they're dealing with and whatever
Right,
is
yes.
going
So
on.
even though there's 3 families, we're just one big family. We have powwows 2 and 3 times a year where we talk about, you know, the things that they like, the things that they don't like, what they want to bring into the children's lives, whether it's Spanish or, you know, some other developmental goings on with them. So you really have that connection where at a child care facility,
Yeah.
You
they
can't do all that.
discourage that. They
Yeah.
don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want you to get too close to the parents like that. You definitely can't go, you know, take them babysitting or have any other
What's
relationship
the
like
most
that.
families that you've had at one time?
3. 3 is my limit.
And how many kids?
3 that are outside of me. So 3 and then my son.
3 and your son. Okay, so at the time you're doing 4 children,
Mhm.
basically.
Well, we did just have an addition because there's a sibling now, but my norm is 3 to 4. And I feel
Okay.
like that's where I feel comfortable at. Some people can handle more.
More, yeah.
Some people only want 2. But you know, the less number of families you have, the more those 2 families are going to pay.
Right, because
So-
it's a share.
Yeah, it's a share. Like, so if I say I want $1,000 a week, then they have to share that
Right.
responsibility.
So it's easier for 3 families to come together and do it versus 2.
Right.
Exactly.
So that was one thing. Now y'all know I'm the numbers girl,
Mhm.
okay? When she said she tripled her income from the corporate America job, you know, and tripled her income going into business on her own with herself and into partnership with the families, that's where I was like, okay, ding, 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 boss up, you know, because that started happening, and that's where I came in. So it is a very legitimate thing that you can do legally.
Right?
File your taxes, have all your paperwork in order, and make some money. Especially for these.
You have a passion for it.
Right.
A lot of people have jobs that, like me, they don't have no passion for what, you know, they every
Right.
day of the day.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people just going to work. You know.
Right.
Like just robotic.
Yeah. And then like you said, you're making minimum wage with all of your experience
Right.
and all of your time, and most of the time when you go to a job, you're spending 8 hours at the job, and what does that leave for home? You know,
Nothing.
and so I think that's
You're
a great
spent
thing.
by then.
Yeah.
But this is your passion. I think that that's very commendable that you want to have this one-on-one time with these children who just need a little bit more attention. And I commend you for that. I commend you for bossing up and wanting to put your big girl panties on and not sit and cry about not having a job and figuring out
Right.
what you gonna do.
With what I have.
Right?
Yes.
And congratulations on that. Like,
Yes.
we really are looking forward to more from you, and definitely let the viewers know how to get in touch with you if they want to, or if
Find out
hiring any
information,
other
yeah.
workers, or
Yeah, so you can reach me at The Nanny Roxy. What is it? The Nanny Roxy at google.com. You know, I'll leave some information when I come back and the show is actually up. The YouTube channel is up. the website is going, then
I'm gonna
I'll come
come
back.
on your. I'm gonna come when you're filming one
Uh-huh,
day and
yeah.
just watch you with these kids. Now keep in mind, I said I'm coming on. I didn't say I was coming to work.
She say I ain't helping you, I ain't
I'm just
changing no
gonna
diapers.
know.
Me either.
I
Me
mean,
either.
but
Look,
it-
this
I
look,
will eat.
look. This is my help, cause I can't do the cheering. I got zero
But I
patience.
definitely
Okay.
want to help you chronicle that, and
We done did our part.
Yeah.
and help you build your brand with this, because this is just what we do. This is what bosses do. We lift each other up.
Exactly.
And no dry hate. Not just
Love
be
it.
messing with you about Shamir, but I'm so serious. But in the interim, like, we're super proud of you. I think it's
Yes.
super dope what you're doing, and we definitely look forward to more.
Yes, so we have a lot of coming up. We have some more guests. We're going to take a break. That was Roxy McLeod, the boss in the building.
So sexy last name.
It's Boss Up Houston Network. Tune in to Boss Up Houston. The Naked Truth. Vibrations from the soil. The Simon's Christian TV show. The Gidget Lewis Show. Breakfast with Sonia. TN Politics. It's the Naked Truth Network and Boss Up Houston Network. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up. Nisa can fit right here. All right. It's Boss Up Houston. Y'all know how we do. The bosses are in the building. It's your girl, Shamir Bacon, your host. I have the bosses in the building with me, Miss Sabrina Golden, Miss Monique Luss, and the wonderful Miss Roxy McLeod. She just gave y'all some information about what she has coming up for 2020. We're going to be looking forward to the Nanny Share, and we're going to be looking forward to the website and the web show. And maybe you might see her on Boss Up Houston
just
Network,
never know.
honey. You never know. You know. But we do have some wonderful guests that's coming on. I'm going to introduce our next guest, Mr. Edward Davis. Yes. Bossy. Bossy. Ed, I like this shirt you got going on.
Oh, everybody talking about this shirt.
Going down.
New look.
What's
Somebody
going
said I'm
on,
going to bring 2020 in with this new fashion statement.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. I like that.
I don't know why I should put the hat on and take it off.
No.
Good
Yeah.
match.
No, just
Oh, my bad.
just sit it right here.
That's too much going on.
Yeah.
What are you going
All right.
through in your life? You gotta put all of it on.
He want to look really good.
You didn't stay
For
like
the
that.
bosses, honey. You know, he got to come
I need
in.
a woman to teach me.
Oh, wow.
He's putting it out there.
Okay. It's out there.
Accepting applications.
Listen. We
And
might
I will be reviewing them.
listen.
Okay.
So, this is Edward Davis, and Ed, tell me what you have going on, because you got a lot of things, man. Ed does it all, honey. Give us a little bit.
I don't know where to start. So So am I doing my peaks and pits? Am I just doing what I do?
Yeah,
Come on, tell
you
us
can
what
give
you
us your
do.
peaks and pits, and then
What's
Okay.
he acting all shy like he ain't never
So, so a pit for 2019 definitely was I had to reevaluate some relationships. You know, I do a lot of the coaching thing. I do a lot of I believe strongly in adding value.
Right.
And that every day and every way we should try to be the best version of ourselves, but in the process we should always try to add value to others, and that should be reciprocated, right? I believe strongly in the philosophy that you will become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And so if you want to be the average of mediocrity, keep hanging around.
Then do
keep
that.
hanging around mediocre people.
Yeah.
But if you want to be the average of greatness, you need to
Just
surround
hang
yourself
around
with great
me.
people, right?
Hey, Mariah, bosses, honey.
That's why I'm here. I'm trying to get some of this
Okay,
energy,
let me
right?
rub that elbow.
So I actually had a business situation where the money was pretty decent, but the relationship with the partner was kind of toxic, and I had to just make a decision, right? So I made an executive decision that you know, money is not everything, right?
Right.
And,
All money
yeah,
ain't good.
yeah. And so I think we all should periodically purge our list of contacts and relationships.
I
right?
said that.
In every
People think I'm being
in every situation, people are either an asset or a liability.
You're not even.
And
You're
you
not
need to figure out,
asking
and
me
you need
right
to figure
now.
out if they're liabilities or assets,
And I don't
if
carry
they fall on the liability side. And of course it's okay to carry somebody every now and then, right? And depending on the situation, they can get on there. You know,
because it'll weigh out if the relationship is genuine, if both people can add things to the table. I know a lot of times you don't want to look at a person's potential, but if they're actually doing the work, you know.
Looking at yours.
Yeah, but I'm saying like judge on the potential, because you can fool with anybody and say, oh, they have potential. But if you know that they're actually doing the work and the potential matches up with what you know they can do,
right.
then, you know, that's a better investment
I
than
agree.
just saying, oh, that person
So
has
you do
potential.
believe that relationships are investments?
Yeah, of course.
Of course they are.
Relationships are like business ships.
They
In
are.
fact, that's your biggest investment.
Yeah.
I actually had a conversation with Les Brown and his son, and one of the things that stood out was that they always emphasize that your net worth is your net worth, right? You know, determines your net worth. And that just means, and so that means with the relationships you build, those are investments. And
It is.
and you either get a return or you go in the
Yeah,
negative.
And we don't
Right.
like being in the
So-
red, honey.
Not at all.
Yeah, so
Unless
Green,
I got
green,
on
green.
Right.
I got on green today.
And it's cute. Ooh, look at the face.
Yes, honey.
well,
let me give it to
y'all
you.
looking fabulous.
Let me give it to y'all. Yes. And they got on the leopard, you know.
Yeah, they got all these statements.
Cheetah.
Round in it. Just a little bit of round.
You know, bosses gotta look like bosses, honey.
Right.
So what do you have coming up, Ed? I know. Okay, so give us a list, like maybe the short version, because you got about 100 things,
Exactly.
like literally.
So some peaks for 2019 was I did release my my third book, the journal. It came out.
Congratulations.
More, right?
I started my real estate group early in 2019.
Yes.
It was doing very well.
Yes.
And just added a whole lot of new great projects to the plate that's gonna lead into some big things for 2020.
Love it.
And so,
Love it.
Plenty.
so that's some peaks. And of course, 2020, looking forward to, of course, definitely more of the real estate thing. I don't know if you know it or not, but every bit about 80% of the millionaires in the world create their wealth with some type of real estate. And so at some point, you got to play that game if you want to.
Exactly.
If you want to create true wealth, I'm talking
That's
about
true.
legacy. That's stuff you can pass on for generations, right? And so I'm a strong proponent of. You know, I also understand that the average millionaire has at least 7 streams of income. So you got to create them
That's
lanes.
true.
You got to create your lanes, right?
Get it
If you
together,
depend-
huh?
Streams
yeah,
of income.
exactly. If you depend on one source, it might dry up.
It's
And
over.
then you're looking crazy.
It's
right?
over before it
Right.
starts.
All your eggs in one basket.
Right.
You gotta be
Yeah.
resourceful.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So in 2020, of course I want to do more teaching. So every spring semester, I'm an adjunct professor at my alma mater, which is TSU. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers! My
Woo.
baby about to graduate.
So I'll be teaching. I'll be teaching this spring. So I would look forward to that.
What are you teaching?
Cool.
So I do. In the pharmacy school, I do the intro classes with the assistant dean of the school. And so we deal with like the bloodborne pathogen, HIPAA training, IV, the BLS, like all of the introductory courses for the incoming pharmacy students.
And you also do CPR classes and things
Well,
of that
I get my
nature.
CPR back up again.
I'm telling y'all, this is the boss.
Good for the nannies.
The boss.
The nanny.
Yes,
I
it's good
agree,
for the
I agree.
nannies.
Definitely
agree.
need to
Ooh,
have
that
CPR.
girl.
CPR, CDA is a must.
Making
Hey,
them
look.
connections.
Okay.
And I just need to know.
I agree. Especially if you dating them
Y'all
old
don't
men.
understand.
Especially got a couple of sugar daddies, they might
Dang.
go down in a minute. You're gonna have to jump on their chest and do some compressions.
Yes, because
Yeah.
life is not life.
Yes,
without
because
a
I
piece of
breathe.
sugar,
I breathe life, honey.
Look at 'em. I just don't know what to do with all this estrogen, man.
Oh Lord, you love it. He
I
loves
do, of course. Yeah, I probably love it too much. That's the problem.
it.
So, moving on. Moving on, right? So again, 2020, I look forward to doing a lot more teaching. I just love adding value. I have another book coming out that will be out around February that I co-wrote with another great partner of mine, Jacqueline Terrell. It's called The Profitable Nonprofit.
Shout out to Jackie.
So we deal with a lot of just the whole book is just about helping small nonprofits become successful. Everything from formation to strategic planning to board development to grant writing and how to get funded.
Okay,
and
let's
stuff,
talk
the
about
whole-
that.
the
I
whole
like how
thing.
you said you like bringing value.
That's what I do.
The
You
value
want some
bringer.
value?
You want some value? You know what?
That's another show.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be me. Shot.
Throw it in there.
Shoot it.
Well, I like the nonprofit thing. I am looking forward to actually starting about 2, and I have talked to Jackie. So, if you guys need nonprofit or any information on there, definitely hit Ed up. If you need something with education classes or anything like that, definitely hit Ed up. We'll send that information out on Boss Up. What do you have coming up, actually? Like, do you have any new projects coming up in January, or what are we?
I do.
What are we doing?
So look me up
What
for
are we
everything.
doing?
Even if you want to help me flip some of these houses and get this
On
rental
stage,
portfolio. Yeah, let's do it.
See how I did that?
Let's make these billions, not the millions. We're making
Okay.
bills alone.
Hey, we trying
right?
to be Jay-Z.
And I
Um,
now Ed says something all the time that I just love. And again, I'm the numbers girl, okay? He's like, until we have, a couple of million, we don't need to rest or stop grinding or, sit on our talents. So I applaud you. Ed.
You're only as great as your last success, man. So you gotta always be looking for the next big thing.
Good, yeah.
So in January I do have my album dropping. So I do that too. I'm just all over the place. Right?
He a singer, y'all. A singer
No,
with an A.
look.
Like me.
She heard something
Makeup,
that nobody else should hear because I'm not trying to be a singer. So don't let her get you. But I did let her hear something that she shouldn't have heard. I'm actually doing this project right here, right? So it's called Mohawk.
Okay,
right?
okay.
And so it's motivational messages fused with hip hop. So I kind of took Eric Thomas and Les Brown. I grabbed them, and then I took Slim Thug and Jay-Z and Drake, and I threw them all together, and then mixed it up and came out with Mohawk, right?
So
So-
please don't get
so
this
it's basically
confused. This
motivational.
is not Monique Hop. People like to call me Mo.
No, please.
All right.
But you can always come aboard. There's always room.
Give me this hat.
So the album dropping. That'll be in January. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one though.
I know, right? I love her.
Oh yeah, she's
Love
lovely,
is in the air.
right? And then of course just again all the stuff I got going on with the real estate, with the great projects that we got going on the network, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about this TNT and politics thing.
Man.
And we about to jump off.
Your
Yeah,
girl
in
and your
January.
boy.
So yeah.
We're gonna be doing TNT politics, and we're gonna be bringing y'all the real. A lot of people don't even know a lot of things about politics. Don't understand what it means, don't understand what they're doing when they go vote. And I can be honest myself, when I used to vote, I used to just do the single select and it selects all the people. I didn't even know who I was voting for. Right. So a lot of stuff is important. We have, you know, him in presidency, and it's just crazy. So our vote does matter. You know,
him.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Say his name.
Him.
It's but it's important. It's important for us to understand because a lot of times we put in an effort, even with the protests and things of that nature, that doesn't get past a certain point because we don't know the law or we don't actually know what politics are, you know, or how it works. And so, you know, me and Ed, or Ed and I,
politically correct, right?
we are going to bring
Right,
y'all the
grammar.
business.
All day, every day.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And I would also like to maybe start a little financial literacy or a money show. Maybe 30 minutes because everybody's attention span ain't all that good. But we need to be knowing what to do with our money.
That's true.
And
Right.
the first thing we need to know how to do is really have the right mindset. Right.
Right,
Like you understand
right.
that wealth is that riches is a product of wealthy thinking, and being poor or in poverty is a product of poor thinking. And until you get your mindset right, no matter how much money you come into, you're gonna run through it. Right.
That is
The
crazy.
person that mismanages
That's true.
$10 will mismanage 10 million.
Exactly.
And so, and believe me, you can run out of money, right? So, yeah. So again, I'm just
Here today and gone tomorrow.
exactly. So I'm just looking forward to bringing all of that, like I said, and continue to add value. You want to look me up? Just Google me because I'm everywhere.
Google
but,
it.
Google.
But LinkedIn,
Google me.
Instagram, I'm just simply Edward Davis. All my brands, recreatingme.org, Personal Impact, and that's MPACT.com, personalimpact.com. You'll find all of my products, all of my brands. I have my personal brand, which is Edward J. Davis, so edwardjdavis.com. Yes, I got my own website just for me. Everybody should own their name,
Boss.
and own their brand, right? So yeah, so you can find me all over the place. But get at me, and you'll be seeing more of me on the network, doing various shows and topics and issues. So.
Yes, the bosses are in the building. When I tell y'all the bosses are in the building, we're going out 2019 with a bang. Bossing up. Y'all know how we do. This is Boss Up Houston. We'll be right back.
I'm proud of our communities. We are stepping up in ways we have not had to before. We are ensuring that our youth have access to mentorship so that they can lead productive lives. We are empowering our loved ones to make informed decisions about healthy choices and the importance of seeking medical attention. We are identifying mental health issues and connecting them and their families with professionals who can help them. And there are many more issues our communities face every single day. And all of this work begins with our nonprofit organizations. Hi, I'm Jacqueline Terrell with J. Terrell Consulting Firm. We believe that strong organizations create strong communities, and we cannot do it without you. So if you have a passion for your community and want to use that passion to meet a need, we're here to help you through that process. We provide assistance with nonprofit formation, website development, social media and marketing, strategic planning, board recruitment and development, risk management, legal compliance, grant writing, government reporting, and accounting. Whether you need help with one or all of these services, we can create a package especially for you. First, go to our website at www.jterrellconsulting.com and download our free ebook, The Quick Start Guide to Nonprofit Formation. The Quick Start Guide gives you a background on nonprofit formations and the governmental entities involved in the process. You may also contact us by using the Contact tab. We look forward to working with you. J. Terrell Consulting Firm. Strong organization, strong community.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
All right, you guys, this is the last episode of the season. Season 3. Season 3 has went by real fast. Goodness.
Fast.
You guys, listen. This is Boss Up Houston. We do this every second, third, and fourth Saturday at 10 a.m. And we're just having a wonderful time with all the bosses. I don't know. It's too many bosses in the building. But you know what? We grind and we can do it together.
All right.
It's enough money out there for all of us. Let's get this shmoney.
Money, because we regular schmegglers trying to get that money.
Yes, and so I have Miss Niecy Hamilton, who is a boss in her own right, that's coming on. And so we're going to introduce her. Come on, girl. Hello.
She went in like she coming down,
Yeah.
down the aisle on the Price is Right.
I did.
She coming down the aisle on the Price is Right is up. We like,
She is a winner. She is a winner.
So bad with technology. Oh my God, I suck, but I figured it out. So thank you.
Good.
So awesome. I was listening in the inside, like in the inside-outside part of it and everything. So I kept hearing Les Brown, and I'm like, oh God, what to talk about? You know, Jesus. So I'm ready for some questions. Or do you need me to introduce myself? What do
Yes,
you need
go
me to do?
ahead. Introduce yourself. This Niecy.
Hey, you guys, I am Niecy Hamilton, the expert and the activist for anti-human trafficking here in Houston, Texas. And it is so exciting and a pleasure to be here with you guys. I feel like, especially you, Sabrina, oh God, like I've grown up with these women. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Shamir, good God Almighty. Oh God. But it's like, dang, did you ever think, like, I didn't think,
either.
like, Monique, right? Like, whoo.
And you know what? I just want to tell you, I am very, very proud of you. I support
yes.
everything you do. Anything you going for, girl, we got you.
Oh my God, thank
because,
you.
I saw you were running for District B.
District D.
Oh, D. I'm sorry.
Yes. And
Um,
shout out to District B. They are going through
they're going
a
through
lot
some things.
politically. Jesus. And shout out to all the candidates in District B. We do not want to exclude our African American
Yes.
young generation from ever running from office or ever thinking that because you have a background or a past that you should not endure the experience of running for office. We all have dirt, you guys, but you
That's
have
right.
to triumph over this. I never in a million years would have thought that I was going to be the first African American woman to run for office as a
I
survivor
love it.
of human trafficking, and we did that. So when I did that, it opened the doors and the eyes up to the entire community. Like man, you know, some people had it in their right, and I get it because we're on the talk show and we need views. It was like, you know, prostitute or stripper.
Don't say it.
You know.
They can't really tell you what to do if they never experienced
Right.
Exactly.
Or been in your shoes, you know?
Right. And my thing is, in my African American experience, which I embrace and I love so much, a lot of times when girls are coming out of that life, usually we extend our body parts, our boobs, our butt, we get into poetry, we take that poetry, we turn it into rap or into singing career, things like that.
And fashion.
Yeah, or we go into fashion, stuff like
The
things.
rest of that one.
Yeah, the artsy side of it, and there is an artsy side of it. Never do we go into that side of the political base where we say, okay, let me take my experience and really create a hardcover resume and stuff. So what I've been able to do with my platform is teach girls, things just from the educational perspective, which now we could take it to legislation, that and bring it into our colleges to get our colleges involved so that the girls can have resources, real resources, and turn human trafficking into what is it, like HIV is a disability, turn human trafficking into a disability so that they can't get stuff. So it's like, if you've been counting money and you counting it in trash bags, then you need to be an accountant. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If you
Come
counting
on,
your
yeah.
Johns and you know who you gonna sleep with and how you gonna do it,
Gonna
and
meet you where?
right, that's human resources.
Mhm.
Okay, you counting humans.
It's in perspective.
You know what I mean? And it's like, if you're going up and down the pole, you know, there are plenty of opportunities to go up and down poles in scaffolding, in construction, you know, and they need to know that. You need to run construction plants and do things like that. So, and,
Turn it into positive energy.
right?
I actually might need to partner with this one on the book.
Okay.
I'm actually working on the book called Elevating the Game, where I talk about everything we do in the streets can be transferred over into the real world, right? What we do on the corners as gang leaders, as D-boys. I mean, Jay-Z is a good example.
Yeah.
That's
why it's so many.
He didn't lose his hustle. He just changed his product.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
But the business skills you learn, those are real
that hustle.
skills, right?
That
So
hustle.
the streets teach you some
Right.
invaluable skills and tools and trades that can transfer well. You can take it from the streets to Wall Street.
Right, and that's how
Um,
we know Satan want our daughters, because even when ministering, you know what it was I was saying, you know, Satan, everything it is that it was for bad, I'm telling you, God meant it from good, because I went from the POLE to the POLL. See, I still stayed on the pole. No matter how I stayed on the pole. So, you know, I just kept my clothes on this pole.
Yeah.
And it's been an amazing experience, amazing journey. And just so many girls that are just ready to lead their life have reached out. So many companies and agencies. I've got like 4 job offers. And I was like, ugh, can I get back to you after the new year? I mean, God is so great. Who would have thunk it? I'm just like, I don't know what to do. So.
And so Niecy actually let me tell you something. Okay. Baby girl actually started as a comedian. I used to love you as a comedian.
I know.
But I love you even more as you have evolved and over time. And, you know, like you said, what God has for you, he has for you.
Mhm.
And you went through certain things because of, or he knew that you would be in this place. And you had to give back. And you had to give back from that experience.
I did, and I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people brought up my comedy life when I was running for office, and I had to make sure that I was clear about the same thing that I was making fun of and laughing at, because that was my stage therapy time. It's the same thing that I had to be serious about. Because if you go back and listen to a lot of my comedy, it was sexually exploitation that I was talking about, that I was making fun of. You know, it was problems that I had inherited as a child, and then it was my first time talking about it, and it was like, as long as I can make people laugh about it, it was really my pains is what I was describing. Those stories, those weren't just stories. That was for real. Yeah, it was for real. I was really going through that. So.
You said you are a survivor
Yes.
of sex trafficking.
Yes.
Okay, can you go a little bit into that?
Sure. So I was trafficked here in Houston as a child. When I was 14, I was emancipated in the state of Texas. Did not know it. Was returned home. And, you know, like 7 months after I was returned home, my grandmother passed away. So I ended up living in a cardboard box behind a Walmart. And that Walmart ended up being like safety and shelter for me. I would, you know, and I make fun of Walmart now. And I've talked to executives from Walmart, and they're super supportive of me as well. It's funny. I said, now this was before y'all had good bathrooms, you know, before y'all became eco-friendly. I was in there, you know what I'm saying? And so they're like, you know what, there was a time when we were not eco-friendly, you know, so I'm talking about when they just had the brown paper towels, you know. But this was before, you know, remember when the air dry for your hands was the thing or whatever? It was like before that time, you know, the paper towel was like shoes for me. You know, you can kind of grasp like the idea, you know, of just, you know, getting dressed and really coming into that, you know, that whole bath, you know what I'm saying? You know, trying to take wash-offs with the pink hand soap that you ain't supposed to be bathing with, you know, just going through that funk, if you can, you know, and I'm talking about, you know, so homeless to where you eating chicken out of the trash can after somebody done took 4 bites off of it. You know what I mean? And it's like the worst kind, because then you grow up like, I can't hate chicken. You know what I mean? How can you hate chicken? You know, but it's like some days, you know, because I tell my husband, I say, please don't give me a drumstick. He was like, why? I'm like, please give me either breast or, you know, chicken, you know, chopped up thighs, something. Just don't give me a drumstick. So 2-piece Tuesday from Popeyes is like cut out for me. I've never eaten it because I'm like, I can't eat the daggone drumstick, you know, just because of memories like that of, you know, being starved and things like that. So there are different elements to crime when we get to human trafficking, and the reason why, you know, the penal code has not addressed it yet. The penal code comes out once every year and things like that. And I know we have seen different dramatizations of human trafficking. Okay, so let's start here. Human trafficking is sex trafficking. There's not a separation. Okay? So if you see a van with the lock and somebody's trying to take a child, then that's abduction. Sex trafficking does not happen until the exploitation of sex happens to that child. So, for instance, if you find a child and the child is with one adult and all that has happened to that child is just that child's been abducted, then that child's been abducted. Okay, if it's one person, the child's been abducted, and then there's sexual assault, then you got sexual assault of a minor.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So here's where the trafficking part gets interesting. So if that child is then abducted by that person and then sexually assaulted, and then that person who sexually assaulted that child passes that child to another person to be sexually assaulted, now you've been human trafficked. Okay? So that is the element. Those elements in crime are the different differentiations. But, you know, we've reached the point of violence. We've reached the point of abduction, which is a crime. You know, we've reached the point of molestation or rape. You know what I mean? Then it's like, okay, all of those, you know, it's like those recipes make a cake.
Do you think that the reason why it hasn't been addressed is like you know, most of the people, I watch a lot of movies, you know, and most of those people that are buying these young ladies and young boys are mainly well-off people. It's like a secret society. Like they will ban crack, but it's okay for them to snort coke. Type of situation.
Right. So you're right about that.
It's acceptable for them to snort coke, but crack is bad.
It's like the double standard.
Right.
You know
So
what I mean?
there is a double standard. So, and speaking of that, so, and I grew up through the crack era. So, you know, we're talking about the 1960s, you know, Nixon, you know, when they were throwing just money at poverty and things like that, and they forgot to address certain issues in the African-American community. I think
they refused to.
Or they refused to. You know, what's interesting is that our first traffickers were our grandmothers and our mothers. And, you know, shout out to Demi Moore. She just shared her story on Red Table Talk, even though this is not about Demi Moore. If you guys know Demi Moore, if she sent her this video and tell her, hey, she needs to watch this, because actually, after sharing her story, I don't know if she realizes, but she is a victim of human trafficking. And she came out and said that her mom, you know, basically sold her to another guy to be raped for $500. And when she came out and said that she's a victim of human trafficking, so her mother was the trafficker. And what happened? And what happened was how we even got to this part. Because when I started doing research, is back then activism in white constituents, you know, it was called feminism. You know what I mean? And during feminism, they created the element of violence, which was domestic violence, and they said, listen, we won't stand for this. You know, and what happened was our men went to war, and then women started doing the jobs of the men because the men were not here.
Right.
And so once that happened, you know, before that even happened, remember, it was okay for Henry to hit Tracy because she was his property. He could beat her, and it was okay. You know, I was talking about that this morning on 90.9 as well, KTSU. Shout out TSU, and congratulations to everybody that's graduating.
TSU.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you guys are listening after graduation. Enjoy your day. But when black women heard you know, oh, they're not, white women not getting beat anymore. It was like, oh, okay, well, we not getting beat either. We think you should go. Henry got to go out the house. But what we forgot was we were making 20 cents less on the dollar than white American women. So we could not afford to lose that income.
We couldn't afford it.
And so what happened was, once black men understood their power, and I'm not talking about all black men, I'm just talking about the ones that were dealing with perversions, who mentally were savages and were not trying to keep the custom of the African American, community. They just didn't have boundaries. And because they didn't have boundaries, they were like, well, not only do I want you, but I want your daughter too.
That's what I'm
Especially
trying to get
if they
to
were
right
not
now.
related
That's what I'm trying to get
to
into.
that daughter.
person, yeah.
Right. And so when we get all the way down, through generational curses, that's what black people call it, but the education, the scholarly level of it is epigenetics. Through epigenetics, we learned that this is just not a survival crime that you just pick up all of a sudden.
Learned
This is
behavior.
something that's come through the generation.
Learned behavior.
Right. And so my
I just talked
mom,
about that.
my mom was a product of this as well. My mom was a rape baby. And then she comes to this world. She has no father figure. And then she has, there's a brother and sister collaborative there. But then their father wants to sleep with my mother. And because she's not in direct relationships with anybody, then, it's okay. So she was sacrificed to the family for, during her years where she was supposed to be protected as a child. So from age 11 to 13. And she didn't know. And by the time my mom was 14, 15, she's already drinking coffee. And if you grew up in 1965, 70s, you're drinking coffee, you're an adult if you're drinking
Right.
coffee. It's like, whoa, you're not allowed
What
to drink
is really going
coffee.
14
Exactly.
and 15 back in the 30s, she would have been married with kids.
Right, she would have been married
Yeah.
with kids and things
And
like
that's
that
changes in
already.
the generation.
They still don't feel that this is the point I'm trying to make, along with the sex trafficking or whatever. I feel like the government picks and chooses what they want to ban. Because
Right.
that's to them, again, just like doing the coke versus the crack and all of these things, to them it's acceptable. And it's not. But
Well, it's not that
it's
that's
not.
acceptable. What's not acceptable to white people is white slavery. Okay, so that's different. See, when white girls come up missing, they get all the media attention that they need. But when black girls or Hispanic girls, shout out to my Latino family, when they come up missing, we get no type of media attention, and people do not look for us the same way they would white Americans. Not to say that they're not important. They're all important. All of this is justifiable. But when you come out with human trafficking and then you don't teach people, what it is, they're like, oh, the African American community don't need to know what it is because they're used to slaving their children, which is true. We are. That's where that sweeping it underneath the rug came from. And so our pains and our, the discrimination that happens to our little girls, it gets minimized. And it's almost like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Before you even justify this crime, you don't get to be the arsonist and the firefighter at the same damn time. And what I mean by that is you don't get to pay, white women or other cultures of women X amount of dollars on a scholarly level, PhD, MBAs, or whatever. I'm both. It doesn't matter. To come to the African American community to teach our black girls about how not to be enslaved, and then tell us that it's okay for us to live up to your expectations of success.
I just felt some
How do
kind
you
of way.
do that?
I just felt some kind of way when you said that.
Yeah, it's the
because
truth.
number one,
It is the truth.
It just like, and I hate for people to, and it's not stereotype. It's generational type. It's like
Right.
you put us in this category and say, well, this is what they're teaching their children. No, I'm not teaching my child
This
that.
is what you
No,
taught us
I
to
did
teach our
not
kids.
ride over on a boat from Africa. I was born and raised in the United States
Come
of
on,
America.
girl.
You understand what I'm
Wait a
saying?
minute.
And so, I get offended a lot when people say that or put us in, a box. And it's like, no, and I've never been, the type of woman that teaches my girls to do this or to do that. And so you can't put me in that category. So I hate when that happens. And I don't want to cut you off, Nisi, but we have to.
Oh,
the
yes.
show is coming up to an end. But I do, we are going to bring you on our new show,
Please
the TNT
do.
Politics,
I
especially
cannot
for
wait.
your for what you have going on.
Yes.
So before
And,
we go, we don't mean to cut you off, Miss
That's your
Bacon.
birthday present, Miss
But
Bacon.
Now y'all know pink is my favorite. Y'all know pink is my favorite color. Yes, and then
That
the
is so
prince, and then the
wonderful.
prince.
I just
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
give her
so
something
basic.
now y'all all matching.
Yeah.
That's why I did it. That's why I did it, but we didn't plan this.
Oh, okay.
It's just
Okay.
great minds.
Why? Yeah. And I have a cheetah print
Bosses,
sweater. So,
bosses think alike, okay? But
Happy birthday,
I
baby.
thank you,
Happy
thank you.
birthday.
Well,
Happy
I'm coming on
birthday.
the show.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
ready.
Thank y'all for having us.
Yes.
Yes, I want to thank all of our guests. You know what? Y'all need to tune in to Boss Up
Yes.
Houston. Niecy, I want to give you a chance to tell the viewers where we can reach you and how we can get to you on social media.
Please, you guys, my PayPal is still up. You guys, please send your donations in so that we can continue our research, our search and rescue of our girls, because it's kind of not able to be measurable. But anyways, we're doing some things to measure the success and survival rate of our girls in the African American community and to stop adultification with our girls. So to learn more, please call me 713-331-3112 and to email me Niecy, that's nissi.hamilton@yahoo.com. So I love you guys. Stay in touch.
Yes,
Yes.
this has been an awesome, phenomenal Boss Up Houston edition of, you know what, we've given peaks and pits, and we've come on with all of the bosses. We talked with Roxy about the nanny share and about giving value to your life, and the impact. Okay,
Yes.
and Miss
Okay.
Niecy Hamilton, the
Love ya.
experts.
Thank you.
And Survivor.
Yes.
We want to hashtag Survivor, honey,
Yes.
of human
Of
trafficking.
everything.
Yes.
Like
So-
just being
So
surviving through your life.
The bosses are in the building, and this has been another great edition of Boss Up Houston. This is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Bosses.
Yeah. Woo!